Hello, hello, lovely. It is so good to have you here for today's meditation. I want you to take a big, deep breath to settle yourself into this meditation practice, breathing fully in and fully out. Continuing to breathe with intention and fullness, filling your body with the air around you to help ground you. In today's meditation, I want you to start really stepping in and embodying full self-love, starting with our thoughts. I want you to imagine yourself standing in front of a house. This house represents all of your insides, your energy, your knowledge, your feelings, how you move through this world. Everything about you is in this house. I want you to imagine the higher you, the you that knows that everything about you is so beautiful, more than enough, full of value and wisdom, so much to offer this world, beautiful inside and out. Doesn't have to prove anything. I want you to imagine her standing in front of this house that represents who you've been up to this point. And remember, our past has influenced the current, old beliefs, old thinking, old ways of doing things that don't necessarily fit who you are and who your true self is, which is where self-love resides. Usually the house that we've been living in, our thoughts, our body, our emotions, our actions, our whole being, it's familiar, it's comfortable because it's known. It's like an actual house that you've lived in a long time, and even without turning the lights on, you could walk through that house. Or if you closed your eyes, you would know to take a step left to avoid that table, to reach here to turn on the lights to the bathroom. You know you could look over into the corner and see a certain picture frame. You could imagine exactly where things are in the fridge, because you usually put them in the same place. But when we awaken to what house we are actually living in, we can really decide, does this actually fit here? Do I want this in my house? Do I want these thoughts here, these feelings here, this way of moving Do I want this here? Through the eyes of the highest you, I want you to imagine yourself walking into this house that represents how you've lived in this world up until now. The house that you know where most things are. I want you to look at your inner house through the eyes of this part of you and really take an honest look around. Does everything inside of this house, does it feel good? Did you decide to have this here? Or was it passed down to you? Maybe there's a thought, a belief that's in your mind that was passed down to you from the past that now that you look at it through the eyes of this highest version of you, that it's almost like, why is this here? I don't want this in my house. Perhaps like an old, scraggly orange rug that's in the living room that now that you take a look at it, you wonder, why is this here? Oh, that's why. Your mom gave it to you, and you felt like you were supposed to keep it. And her mom before her passed it down to her, and she felt she had to keep it too. Right now, you get to decide what you get to keep in your inner house, in your inner heart, in your inner being, what belongs in there. You don't have to keep it all. Just because someone passed it down to you doesn't mean it belongs to you. Sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming to really open your eyes and look around in the house that you've been living and notice there might be a lot in there that does not belong there, does not fit there. It doesn't light you up. It doesn't have you feel so good about life and about yourself. Take a breath. And realize that the cleaning of your inner house, the place where you create your inner self-love sanctuary, you get to decide what gets to go there, and you don't have to do it all at once. Being an intentional woman means we take one step forward and then another step and then another step. Thinking about all of the steps strung together can feel too overwhelming. Right now, I want you to just take one step and take a look at what belief, what thought has been hanging around in this house of yours, in your inner heart, that you want to change. Where do you see this thought represented in the house that you're in through the eyes of the you that is all about self-love. Maybe it's a thought like, no matter what I do, it's not enough. Where is this thought in your inner house? Is it a picture on a wall? Is it an old orange scraggly rug in the floor? Maybe it's held in a piece of clothing in the closet. I want you to take this thought in whatever way it's represented, holding it in the hands of the you that's in your inner house that is saying, this does not belong here. This thought does not represent love. And I want you to imagine releasing this thought from your inner house in whatever way feels aligned for you. Maybe you chuck it out the window. Maybe you see it dissolve into dust in your hands. Maybe you lift it up and see it floating up, up, up to the stars, to the universe, to be held there so it does not get held in your inner heart. Once you feel and see this negative thought that no longer is in your house because you've released it, now I want you to imagine its replacement thought. The possibilities are so open right now. You get to decide through the eyes of the part of you that knows without a shadow of a doubt how amazing you are and how much love is already in you, how enough you are. What new thought do you want to hang on your walls in your house? What new thought do you want to embody in the clothes in the closet, the food that's there in the kitchen, the lamp that's on the end table, or maybe even the thought just is in the air? What thought are you going to claim? What beautiful thought about yourself are you going to create and put in your house because you get to choose, you get to decide? Whatever this thought is, I want you to start to notice how it feels in your body. Maybe it's the thought of, I am enough, and nothing will ever change that. Perhaps there's lightness in your heart, space in your body. There might be some inner resistance with this new thought. And that's okay too. This is your opportunity to really start creating your inner house, the self-love sanctuary in you, where you clean out the thoughts that don't belong there and you replace them with the ones that do. Take a big breath and really claim that you will intentionally fill your inner house, your heart, one moment, one step, one movement at a time. Because being an intentional woman means you are committed to doing this work. And it is so worth it. You are worth it and so deserving of it. As we close out this meditation today, I want you to stay here as long as you need. If you feel inspired to do some more house cleaning, go for it. Remove the thoughts that no longer serve you and replace them with ones that do. And if one thought was enough for today, that's okay too. You can come back to this place and do the transition of thoughts at any time. Journal if you need to. And I will see you in the next lesson. Bye, lovely.